recording. Hello again, it's me Chaz back with another video. Guess this is my part 2 of my UEFA World Cup qualifying match day 1 video. This time I am focusing on Group J, K and L. The nations in Group J, so I'm going to start off with Group J, is Liechtenstein, North Macedonia, Wales, Kazakhstan and Belgium. Only 2 of the nations in this group, that is Wales and Belgium, have qualified for the World Cup before. Wales qualified for World Cup a total of 2 times, first in 1958 and then again in 2022, the most recent World Cup in Qatar. That is a record of the biggest absence from World Cups, or the longest absence. Belgium have reached 2 World Cup semi-finals. The most recent World Cup semi-finals they reached was in 2018, which they were the favourites to win the tournament back then. Belgium were the only team in this group not to play a World Cup qualifying match in March. The 2 games that took place in March, at least on match day 1, was between Liechtenstein and North Macedonia, where North Macedonia won 3-0 away, and Wales defeated Kazakhstan 3-1 at home. Start with the North Macedonia-Liechtenstein match. North Macedonia scored early in the first half, 7 minutes in. Trzaskowski scored. Then in the 42nd minute, Mazlou scored. 2-0 first half, North Macedonia leading away from home, and Milski late on in the 84th minute for North Macedonia made it 3-0. Good, clean, easy win there for North Macedonia. Great start for them in their World Cup qualifying campaign. Next up, Wales played Kazakhstan. Wales qualified for the last World Cup, first time they have in a very long time. 9 minutes in, Wales did take the lead thanks to a goal from James. Kazakhstan was awarded a penalty in the 32nd minute. Shaybungun converted that penalty for Kazakhstan. The game was 1-1 in the first half. Second half though, David scored in the 47th minute. So both James and Davis, I should mention, they both did play in that 2022 Welsh team in the World Cup. So good goal there, restoring Wales' lead. Late on, Matondo for Wales made it 3-1. Again, another good start for Wales there, 3-1. As I mentioned, Belgium didn't play, so at the end of match day 1, North Macedonia were first and Wales was second in Group J. In Group K, Andorra, Latvia, England, Albania and Serbia are in this group. England and Serbia are the only 2 nations in this group to ever qualify for the World Cup. And England are the only team in this group to actually win the World Cup. They won it on home soil in 1966. Serbia, on the other hand, since they've been called Serbia, have qualified for the World Cup. Serbia are recognised as the successor team to Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia competed at the very first World Cup, reaching the semi-finals, being the first team from Europe to ever reach the semi-final. The first to be one of the final 4. This has been a thing for every World Cup moving forward. A European nation has reached the final 4. I want to mention as well, I actually did go to the game between England and Albania. I went to Wembley to watch that match. Did have a good time there. It was a long time since I've been to Wembley, so I did have fun. And it was great seeing England win there. From being honest, biased. And I'm going to start with the game between England. England did beat Albania 2-0. Lewis Skelly on his debut for England did score an assist from Bellingham. If they're good enough to play, they're old enough to play. That's what I'm going to say there with him. Harry Kane also scored, England's top scorer, scored in the 77th minute, an assist from Rice. That's 2-0 for England, great start. They were knocked out in the last World Cup by the finalists, the runners-up, France. The other game, Andorra and Latvia, ended in a 1-0 win for Latvia. Sits in the 58th minute for Latvia. Was the only goal in this game. At the end of match day 1, England topped this group with Latvia being second. Serbia didn't play a World Cup qualifying match in March. They were in the Nations League. They beat Austria. Alright, now we're going to move on to the final group, that is Group L. Group L had Montenegro, Gibraltar, Czech Republic, Faroe Islands and Croatia in that group. Croatia are the only team in this World Cup qualifiers group to have not played a match yet in March, at least for a qualifying match I should say. They lost to France in the quarterfinals of the Nations League, and because of that loss they were put into this group. Let's talk about the game between Montenegro and Gibraltar, which ended in a 3-1 win for Montenegro. 2 goals came in the first half. Montenegro did come from behind in this game, leveled the game. 2 goals in quick succession. Marus scored. For Montenegro, that's 3-1. As an independent nation, Montenegro has never qualified for the World Cup. Gibraltar as well also hasn't qualified for the World Cup. Next up, Czech Republic beat the Faroe Islands 2-1. Czech open up the scoring for the Czech Republic on the 25th minute. 1-0 first half. Late on in the second half, late goal for the Faroe Islands. Vatnamha scored in the 83rd minute. It looked like Faroe Islands was going to get a point from this game, but just 2 minutes later, Czech scored his second goal for Czech Republic and gave Czech Republic the win. As an independent nation, Czech Republic have qualified for the World Cup, but as Czechoslovakia, when it was with Slovakia, they did reach 2 World Cup finals. First in 1934, which was the first ever All-European World Cup final. They did lose to Italy, and again in 1962 in Chile, they lost to Brazil. Faroe Islands have never qualified for a World Cup. So at the end of match day 1 in Group L, Montenegro were leading while Czech Republic were second. Croatia are another nation in this group. As I mentioned earlier, the reason why they're in this group, they didn't play, yet they will play their next game in the qualifiers in June. Croatia themselves, as an independent nation, has reached a final of the World Cup. That was back in 2018, while they were beaten by France. As an independent nation, for the first time, they did qualify in 1998, and reached the semi-finals. Outside of winning the tournament itself, that is the best performance of a debuting World Cup nation since Italy winning it in 1934. Alright, that was my UEFA World Cup qualifying match day 1, Group J, K and L video. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it as usual. Please like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I get to release this before all of the match day 3 game matches have been played. Anyway, thanks again. Please like, comment and subscribe as I said earlier, and bye.